captured.
Bro, I don't understand this. The Zoom H6 will literally stop working in OBS.
Yo.
All right, now the audio works, and we're gonna go back to the intro. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the DJ Life podcast with the audio working for once. Totally was working previously to this, but anyways, welcome back. We have Eric, who just barely made it after taking the baby to the doctors.
Yes.
And
sick baby, but we're all good.
We're all good. He's enjoying the wonderful changes to the wedding wire and the not email notifications today that most of us have already dealt with and had to deal with.
I could kill him.
So
I
besides
could
that,
kill him, but
anyways,
okay.
we have a familiar guest back on the podcast, Mr. Aaron Thomas. DJ A-Rock.
Bow, bow.
What's happening?
Not coming to us from Athens, Ohio like he normally would be, but he's coming from Tallahassee, Florida.
Why is that? Are you on a cruise right now?
No.
No, unfortunately I can't cruise because I signed a 8-week 8-city deal with a company. So I'm basically following a organization around the country doing their live streaming. So when you talk about audio issues, it's that's the one thing I pray don't happen when we get ready to start our live streams.
Well, you just got to make sure you check your audio sources before you start, which on occasion I might forget to do.
Yeah,
Shit.
And the one time, and the two times that like I don't check is the two times it isn't working.
Yep. Shout out to all the homies in the chat.
One's in the chat
as always.
Yeah. If you have any questions or just shit you want to talk about, feel free to throw it in there. We got a couple topics though.
Yeah.
We'll circle back, but
let's open it up with it'd be funny if we actually started to make this more of a structured show and opened up with like Eric's Facebook post of the week.
Yeah, right. I made a Facebook post actually the other day, and I was like, I want to make a new podcast that just goes through DJ idea sharing and just talks about the posts. Like, you wouldn't even have to plan it. It would just be like ridiculous, and sometimes not. Maybe it would even be good sometimes, but most of the time,
this would be great if we hit 1,000 subscribers, and then maybe we could do something with the show and be a little more creative.
Yeah. Well, so what he's saying is, if y'all motherfuckers would subscribe, maybe I could talk about some bullshit.
I'm subscribed.
I'm subscribed.
Whatchamacallit, Spinelli, his show's like 2 hours, and like he does like those segments at the beginning, and we could do some segments at the beginning and then bring the guest in.
That wouldn't be so bad.
So we could literally be like Eric's Facebook bullshit of the week.
No, if we could just take two or three screenshots. All I need is what was said,
and just pop them up
and
on
go
the screen
from there. Yeah, I mean, all right, we can read it. It doesn't matter because sometimes people listen on Spotify.
Yeah, I know.
We'll just read it and then discuss. It doesn't have to be a shred fest, but it might
mostly will be.
It might be. There's a chance. So let's just go through one little example of how that would play out. I conveniently have a screenshot from DJ Idea Sharing. A friend of mine actually posted it. We'll start here. Okay, so screenshot. You can check my Instagram. I posted it the other day. So the original post says, does anybody purposely schedule breaks into their busy season? My market is busy and we are high in demand. I personally do 2 weddings per weekend and have the demand to do that for 16 plus weeks straight, both in spring and summer and again in the fall.
Okay.
He stopped taking triple headers though. But all the prep for each event, running the multi-op, then being gone all the weekend from the family definitely takes a toll on my mind and body. For those DJs doing this many weddings, what parameters or guides do you use to avoid a burnout? So he's working too fucking much basically, and he's burnt out. He's just asking if people put up You know, like, oh, I take off this week and that week every year to take a breather. That's what the post is talking about.
You know, Loki, I would ask some secondary questions as to how big is his multi-op, and then also...
I can tell you, actually. So I know these
big?
details. It's not huge. He probably has 3 guys working for him, subs.
That's a lot, but...
Not full-time,
well,
I would imagine.
Is he full-time?
He is.
Okay.
He's definitely full-time.
I would say he's got a system problem, honestly. I don't think he has good enough systems in place.
Well, he's taken too many events himself, and that's an opinion. He wants to. He clearly wants to, or he doesn't have to.
I would say training system.
But
That's 2 times 16. I'm doing the math.
He needs Vibo.
So you're doing like 40 events? Like 40 events?
60.
Or
61.
60.
So this is actually a result of automateyourdjp.com because he's a user, and this is just what happens. You just get overblown with
So
work.
he needs to raise his prices, is what I'm hearing.
Maybe, but not the point. His
Okay,
question.
okay, get to the point of...
His question is,
you
what
take-
do you do to prevent yourself from getting burnt out, basically?
I do that. I honestly, so when I go work on the ship, I do a month to 3 month long contracts. So when I first started, I used to literally do 3 month long contracts, and I go every winter. I literally do OU's homecoming, and then I'll leave literally the next day, and I'll be gone for 3 months. And I'll literally take the month of February off.
Yeah.
Because on the ship, I'm working 7 days a week.
Yeah, right.
So that's burnout. So
Yeah,
when
yeah.
people are like, oh yeah, I'm doing, a event here, event there, take 90 days and you're doing 3 different events each day.
I've never even done anything like that, so I can't even
not
relate.
to sidetrack off that, but...
Sidetrack all you want. Sidetrack all you want. We'll come back. We're going. This is how it's going to be.
It's been quite a while in terms of episodes since we've had Aaron and Howard on here last time. So what and I honestly didn't realize it until you told me back in the day in terms of how much of a grueling demand it is on a cruise line DJ in terms of the work that you're putting in and day out on a cruise. It's literally an all-day DJ thing. So
Yeah, so it varies per company, right? So some of these companies will hire you in as a guest DJ, right? So Howard, he does more of a guest DJ type deal. A couple other people like Dana, she does like guest DJ. But with Carnival, you come on as a crew member, employee DJ, right? So you're there. And our days depend on support day, right? So if support day, we're usually not working during the daytime. We're usually off the ship, exploring the island. But if it's a sea day, we would start 11 a.m. Oh, it's just loud trucks out here in Tallahassee. 11 a.m. to 2, right. 11 a.m. to 2. And then if we're in the atrium, we'd do an atrium party from 6 to 7. And then we'd go open a nightclub from 10 to 2. Or 10 to 3, depends on what port you're in. Out of Miami, on a 3 and 4 day, we've been in the club to 3 o'clock in the morning, and that's just because we're trying to get out of there because the people don't want to leave.
Yeah.
When I was in California, we was usually out by 2:30. So you're doing an 8-hour day. You're just doing different locations. So daytime, we out by the pool. Midday, we're inside in the atrium, and then we got the nightclub. So. Mm-hmm. But it's DJ boot camp. I always hear people like, yeah, man, I'm an awesome DJ. Like, really? Go work on a cruise ship. I'll never do that job. I say, you think you're that great? Go work on a boat. They say, why? I say, because we have 4,000 people every 7 days. And you don't know where they're coming from. Yeah. So you can have people
truly put you to the test of music knowledge.
It is the test of music.
Requests or can they request? Can they reach you usually?
Yeah. I mean, I personally like requests for the fact that I know what this group wants to hear for the next 7 days. Because you're going to get your same to 200-300 people coming to the club every night. It may be 4,000 people on board, but you're going to have that same group. They come to the club to party every single. So when that person walk up to you, you know what song they want to hear, right? By day 5, you know the whole playlist. The last night I just played the bangers that everybody requested all week because I just go to history. Make a new crate of what I played all week and basically do my top hits on the last night of the cruise. All right, we about to throw it down. You memorize people names and shit like, all right, just going out to blah, 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 Then next morning, whole nother group getting on board. Yeah. Then you start all over.
Yeah, I could never. I mean, I want to say I could do it. I would never want to do it. That just sounds...
But
And for anyone
like,
thinking that's like a
drug through the fire, like.
and for anybody that's like out there being like, oh, that's just like a wedding. You get a new group every single. No, it's not even close. You're talking about international here. People coming from all over the world to a cruise, versus you might have some people like here in North Carolina. You might have some people came from New York. Some people came from Florida. There's 2 or 3 people.
You're playing Mr. Brightside. You're playing Bruno Mars. You're playing
Smash Mouth,
Nelly, and Smash Mouth. It's
all
the
same.
same.
Yeah, but Usher.
It's the same fucking
Little
shit
John.
every time. And I hate the DJs like, I don't do that. It's like, okay, well, 70% of your set you do though. Like I realize 30% you try and get creative. Okay, cool for you. Like whatever.
You know what's the funniest comment I see on my YouTube channel, or just like people message me like, you play the same music every wedding. It's like, because the same damn songs get the same damn reactions, and that's what I post is what gets the best reactions.
Right.
I might have played some creative shit here and there, but it didn't get that solid reaction like by Usher gets every single time.
Right.
Well, I try to be creative when I'm on a boat trying to switch it up, but a lot of times people don't want the new stuff. They want that banger. They got that 7 days of no work. They're ready to party. This is what they want to hear and so forth, But I did get a music, history lesson when I went from Florida working out of Miami to Texas out of Galveston Port. And I got a huge Latin learning experience. Stuff that worked in Florida is not flying in Texas. The stuff I'm playing in Texas is not flying in California. And the stuff in California definitely is not flying in Miami, because Carnival have ports. And then last summer, I wound up in Europe for a month. Mm-hmm. So it was a completely different atmosphere. The club was dead, but the daytime was good. The older people on board, it was like 14-day cruises. So, the demo was 50 and up. So the club was dead at 10:30, right? We opened and we was ready to close. But I'm sitting there playing ABBA. I did not know ABBA had this much music, so I started working that contract.
Yeah, they were like if you were alive at the time or like old enough to
were
listen
they like
to
a Bruno?
Music of your choice at the time.
Were they like a Bruno back then?
They were bigger than that. Music was bigger than that. You know what I mean? It's hard to compare
Destiny
it
Child.
because
Destiny Child.
it's hard to compare it to an artist today because there wasn't as much music. So the big artists were so fucking big. It's just like it's something you can't compare it to almost.
I think the closest I can think to it is like Michael Jackson. If I'm feeling
Michael Jackson is just like that.
That's what I'm saying. But that's a little bit closer to like now than what ABBA was.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I would imagine Michael Jackson when he was younger
in Jackson 5,
Jackson 5,
and even like the 80s and this totally different, but late 90s it got different, early 90s even.
Well, it got saturated, and that's the thing I got over in Europe was it was a whole nother music genre that I wasn't hip to, like the group S7 or something like that. It was like
Club 7. They had a music TV show or whatever. I used to watch the shit out of that. I know exactly what you're talking about.
So it's the UK version of the Backstreet Boys. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Well, they were an ABBA ripoff. They covered all the ABBA songs. It was like the thing.
Yep. So
the
you
thing
mixed them in. It was crazy.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, as time goes on, information travels faster, right, and more conveniently, and therefore more of it is at your fingertips. And back then, the only artists that people would put money behind and truly make it was just far and few between. So you had like 6 to 10 choices. It wasn't like today where literally you're just Spotify's at your fingertips and you could listen to the catalog of someone who's made. You could listen to my catalog, and like, who the fuck am I? You get my point.
Right.
So ABBA was monster huge, basically.
But it's just one of those things that, I call it the DJ boot camp. People like, oh, well, sucks working on a cruise ship. Like, man, I love working on it because it keeps me fresh. You know what I'm saying? Like, it keeps my mind from going to mush. Like the weddings, you're going to play your top 100 and then you're going to throw an extra 50 in there, right? But every week, I was like, man, what can I mix this in? Like, I literally was like, finding the most random songs to mix to keep my set fresh. It's like, all right, can I mix Gloria Stefan in with Pitbull and bring it back to Bruno Mars and then put Waka Flocka in there. Mm-hmm. All in 10 minutes. Right.
I will say the wedding thing has its own reasons as to why it badgers your soul. Brides, right off the bat, I don't even need to go into it. They are terrible. And some are cool. Obviously, some brides are cool, but typically not. And they run you into the ground. It's like you're their punching bag.
I love weddings personally. Like,
I do too.
I did the clubs.
I'm in the business, but you get my point. Like, it's just a different scenario, and it is tiring.
But what's come a long way. I've been doing weddings for probably 18 years, and you can talk to the guys who've been doing it as long as I have. The weddings aren't what they used to be. Like, most people don't even have they have a first dance, and that's it. Mm-hmm. They're like, we don't care about a bridal party dance. We're not doing bouquet. We're not doing garter. Mm-hmm. We may do something with our parents. We may not.
I forgot that was even a thing, the bridal party dance.
I don't even know about that.
Right. Yeah,
I don't know if I've ever done that.
It used to be a thing. They did a bridal party dance, like a slow song with the bridal party. And then some of them did it a fast song, but it actually used to be a thing.
Typically there's a couple, but it is
Dollar
the
dance.
Formalities are going away. But either way, you've got the ceremony, and even though it's easy, stress, because how much that motherfucker cares, and if one little blip of a hiccup, it is like detrimental, and organizing the event, talking to the coordinator that you don't give a fuck what she has to say, just all of that stuff. It's just annoying. So it does weigh you down. So you took February off. I would say a realistic thing to do from in Homeboy's shoes, who posted the status, I would say,
take a month off.
1 or 3 months a year, maybe 3 months a year. Divvy your year up into sections like that, and give all the weddings to your dudes, and take the month off and chill.
From my perspective, that is the time to go ham. What he's talking about is 3 months and 3 months. That is everyone's wedding season. There's a spring and there's a fall season. And I go ham every spring and every fall season, practically every week.
Mm-hmm. And it's different from where you're from, I'm sure. But basically,
I have my year broken up. Basically, first part of the year, I'm getting off the ship. So I'm coming off the ship in January. I start following up with all the brides I booked the year before for the upcoming summer in February. Spring kick in, I'm at OU doing all the events, from basically March, April, and basically the first week of May. And then I'm into weddings. I don't even bother to mess with proms anymore unless I'm doing a photo booth. Yeah. I'm just not feeling the high school crowd anymore. I'm at that point, and then I go into weddings, and then fall come back around. Ohio University, all their events, and then other college events, and then back on the boat, and then February, repeat it over and over, and I did it that way even with my store. I was working on the ship for 5 years with the store open. So,
damn.
And it's one of those things, man.
You said you're 44?
I'll be 44 tomorrow.
44 tomorrow. Happy early birthday.
Well, thank you.
3 hours,
Thank you.
2.5 hours.
Yeah.
Okay, so the Facebook post.
Facebook.
So my return comment that got a bunch of laugh reacts.
I got one from me.
Okay. All right. I said, I feel this job has a shelf life, so DJs should squeeze every dollar that they can out of it while they are still not that guy. And if you are super old, but you don't think you're that guy, you are. Now, I will add in, everyone has a cutoff age that is different. Because if you don't look super old, you're not.
Go longer.
Yeah, it's not about you. It's about the perspective of the young generation. It is about this 20-year-old girl that's having a wedding or whatever she's having and looking at her DJ, and if she's like, "Oh, he's cool. We're good." But if she's like, "He's fucking,
that's my grandpa."
Yeah. then I don't care if you're playing Waka Flocka and whatever the cool shit is. She's like, "This is fucking weird." You know what I mean? And DJs will argue with you all day about that, but I'm sorry, it's just not up to you. That's all there is to it.
So what you're saying is a Botox subscription later on in life might be a good idea to prolong your...
Dye your hair, some Botox.
prolong your life a little bit.
Yeah, get some bait gear.
Me and Rick had these conversations many times. I mean, you have to have a plan, and that's the issue is that I meet a lot like, all right, so not to get off tangent, but during the pandemic, you found out who really had a legit business and who did not have a legit business, right? And I mean, it was, you don't want to pick on or say anything, but when people was like, oh man, I'm struggling this, I'm like, if you had your stuff intact, you could apply for this. Like I got recruited from the SBA and the SBDC, the small business, and I was literally helping people apply for grants during the pandemic, right? Because I worked with them closely, and it's just amazing how many people don't have their shit together. I'm like, all right, do you got your taxes done for the last 2 years, 3 years?
And they're like,
I would raise you one on that, and it's also something that I think education wise is not prevalent. A lot of people don't understand, like they in terms of like starting a business, and I've been learning this talking to some people that are trying to like become DJs. I'm like, you got to go get your EIN number.
What's that?
What's that? Yeah, what the fuck's an EIN number? You got to go get be a registered business with the state with your LLC license.
What?
And they're so confused. Like some of them get the EIN part, but they don't understand there's also like a state portion too.
And you keep going.
That's what I'm saying. Like there's no information on that. Like that's not something. There's shitloads of resources out there. Like I was looking the other day. I can go being an OU alumni. They have all the programs and shit. I can go take courses for free to learn how to be a better business person for free. And they provide that free to actually anybody in the state of Ohio, but there's also ones locally too.
The bar is so low to start a DJ company specifically. Mm-hmm. And I'm not saying that ours are nothing because we put in the effort, but you don't have to. It's you if you just literally like, I'm going to be a DJ company.
You can do it tomorrow.
You're a DJ company that second.
I mean, it's the same thing for every profession, right? But it's all about where you're going to take it at. And what the real test is, right, when people go to venues and they say, can you provide a limited liability insurance certificate? Like I see people all the time in the groups like,
I already know.
Where do you get where do you get 1 day insurance? Where do you get one? It's like, dude, just contact your agent. It's so easy. It's so cheap for our industry. For our industry,
especially if you're right for us specifically.
I was about to say, there's industries that I've heard the price points. I'm like, holy shit, you pay
what?
what?
With my store, I had 3 types of insurance for my retail store. Mm-hmm. I mean, I had to carry liability on the vehicles, liability on the building, liability on the inventory.
Yep.
And then for the building, I had to carry liability in case somebody got hurt in the parking lot. So, yeah. 4 different insurance. But,
damn, I should have got hurt on your property.
Hey,
crash that boosted board into the.
I sat down. One of my actually someone who DJs for me. They're starting a different company, right? Nothing to do with DJing.
Yeah.
And it doesn't even really matter. But they were like, Eric, I want to sit down with you. I've seen you turn out at some company from scratch, so I want to ask you some questions about what to do.
How to do that.
So we sat down, and the first thing he says is like, before we get started, he's like, my question is, I need to know what questions I need to ask you. And I was like,
that's very true.
Well, yes,
in a way,
but at the same time, like that's just an example of trying to jump the line, and that's like, dude, you gotta. I wasn't pissed, but I laughed in his face. I was like, bro, this is about to be a real short conversation. I can't make the questionnaire and then answer the questionnaire.
You know what you could have done? You could have pulled up ChatGPT and say, what question should I ask to a small business owner?
And that is true, but could have gotten on Google. What are
I'm saying
he could have
starting
a
that.
business?
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? Just you got to put in some work. I immediately told him, I was like, listen, this isn't going to be one of those things you can do that shit with. You're going to have to put in the footwork if you want to pull out anything.
Either that or the money.
Well, look,
it's money or that, and slowly as you get in, the money will be there, so you can delegate things that you can't handle. But at the beginning, there is no money. You have to learn everything. You have to do everything. Unless you
listen, this is the thing, right? When these trucks keep riding by down, I don't know if I'm staying in a hotel or on the main cruising drag or what, but
we can hear
I feel like the same fucking truck keeps
we don't hear the trucks.
It's always a diesel truck too. That's the thing that's been cracking me up. Is it's always a diesel truck. It's never
I'm in
like
Florida.
Well, you know what they say. Praise Dale, raise hell, or something.
I think they're celebrating whatchamacallit, who's the governor down there announced free carry or something, or they support free carry now.
Yeah, we won't get into that. So anyway,
we won't get into politics, but
so so I've been doing business coaching, for probably about 15 years. You know what I'm saying? Just working with startup businesses, and just the thing, like you said, have you done your research? Most of these people that say they want to start a business can tell you every stat about LeBron James and their favorite basketball player, or who's playing in the Sweet 16, and who is this guard and who is but they did not take the time to look up how to start a business, and maybe I can go read on LegalZoom.
Right.
Like it's all these different things. Let me find a lawyer. Nope, I can go to LegalZoom for $500, but it's at least take that time to look at it. And once again, it comes back full circle. During the pandemic, it showed who really had their stuff in place, because the government was giving money out.
Oh my God, they were giving money out.
You just have to show them that you were legit business.
Yep. And they were like, take all this money, please.
That still to this day blows my mind what happened in 20 and 21.
It's absolute bullshit in my mind, but it is yet again that goes.
It is.
I just don't understand. It's almost.
It was too much.
It was too much.
It was way too much.
Well, I'm gonna tell you guys this. I'm gonna tell you
for the bigger companies, especially the ones that really got a fuckload of money out of it.
So I'm old enough, and you guys are, let's see, maybe. Yeah. So 2008, I was already in business in 2008 with my retail store and my DJing. So when all this stuff happened during the pandemic, I say 2008. Yes, Rick is doing the count. Right?
I was in sixth grade.
I was 18.
So when 2008 came, it took a toll on everything, especially small businesses, right? Mm-hmm. And the government dumped all this money into the big businesses, and none of the money trickled down. It just gave people bonuses for their private jets, and so the economy took a shit. People was literally getting foreclosed on, cars getting repos. So when all the pandemic happened, I was like, oh shit, 2008 back around.
All over.
Yep.
But I learned from 2008, so I was prepared. All right, I got some cash in the stash. I'm ready to go if shit shut down. But the government did complete opposite. They put the money out to keep it's called market injection. And they just dumped a shit ton of money into the economy to keep shit from going under. It was bad. You talk to anybody that was in business in 2008, motherfuckers literally was killing themselves.
Yeah, no, I do remember. I was old enough at least to know what was going on.
It was so this time around, but I hear people say, yeah, man, I want to do this DJing gig. I want to do this, man. I like you having a good time. Yeah, but this is legit business. This ain't no part-time hobby. I'm paying taxes. I tell people, when you start paying taxes, it's a business.
Yep. Right.
Are you paying taxes on that money? Yes. Oh, okay.
It's all right.
Fuck yes, I am, unfortunately.
I know, it's too much. Fuck.
But yeah, so it is what it is, man. But that's what I hope anybody watching this would even look at. Say, you know what? Go on LegalZoom. It's easy. You can hit Google. If you know LeBron James stat, you should be able to find out what's going to take to get your business registered.
You have the whole, like I said, the information is just at your fingertips. You just have to reach for it.
You just have to Google it.
I didn't know shit about shit when I started my company, and I was just obsessive. So I just figured it out, but I didn't take any shortcuts either,
Google wasn't around when I started my business.
Damn, so you're like a caveman, huh?
No, seriously, man. I'm still old school, flyers, hand bills. I still believe in that with the digital, but everything repeats, right? Everything comes full circle. People oh, well, how people Rick used to always be like, man, you always out doing this? I'm like, yeah, I still put flyers up in classrooms. So I used to DJ at the bars.
Hey, I took the advice though from you and Mikey though, and did that same shit.
Yep.
I did that same shit with the stack of flyers to every frat and sorority party to get people to come to the bars, and it works.
Yeah, man.
It worked.
Because there's so much content out there right now, right? It's like, how can you distinguish yourself from everybody else without giving Facebook, Instagram, all these other digital companies money to make sure you pop up on top of the algorithm? And it's good old analog flyers. You know, you can't put them on cars anymore. You probably get arrested, but you can still stand outside on the corner and pass them out. Don't put them on cars.
They still pay little kids to do it for you, and they won't get arrested.
No, they still do it here,
and
dog.
If they do, then
I get them on. If I park downtown or in a parking lot at like the convention center, they be going through there putting the cards and flyers on them still. It's crazy.
New CD coming out. They promoting their new mixtape. Those flyers.
Yeah. Oh no, not those.
That's in front of Walmart.
I was going to say that's front of Walmart. I literally got hit. I bought one up from Walmart the one time.
You get pressured into it. Those dudes are good. I need to hire one of those dudes. They'll literally just
they'll sell you, man.
They'll like hand it to you first. They're like, hey, hold this for a second. And they're like, all right, that's
Let me tell you about
$4. And it's like, fuck, what the hell? How'd you even do that? You know?
Nah, man. It's a dude from Chappelle's show. Like, let me holler at you, girl. Let me holler, 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 holler. That's what you need. You need somebody out there like, hey, come here. We're having a party. We're having a wedding. Come, let me holler at you. And it's one of those things, man. It's like, I still believe in upfront and personal. Like when I do bridal shows, I'm literally walking around talking to people. If people ain't coming my way, I'm going to bring them my way.
Yeah.
It's just like, hey, come on up and see me. Hey, how you doing?
Back when me and Graham used to do them together,
we would deadly.
It was just funny. We'd turn because we were bored as shit. You know, it's boring. But like people would walk by and no one wants your flyer. You know, you try and hand it to them and they're like, it's too much commitment already. So we would walk out in the middle of the aisle and I would bend over like I was going to tie my shoe. And I would look at someone and be like, will you hold this for a second? And they'd take the flyer and then I just stand up and be like, thanks, and walk away. And they would laugh because they realized what we just did. And then we talked to them, you know, so it was like a funny thing. I fucking hate doing bridal shows.
Yeah, man.
You know it'd be funny if you had some paper airplanes, like make some paper airplane brochures and just throw them at people.
But they'd have to catch them and maybe
catch.
Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe get some balls, some of the like your logo and shit on some like foam balls or something, and throw them at people.
Yeah, sticky
catch.
Dude, I had keychains. I got new keychains now, so I got some brand new keychains I'm giving out. I didn't try balls. I used to have condoms with the logo on there, passing them out the bar.
What is that? I've never done that.
It's like I believe so. It's a term called guerrilla marketing. You ever heard of guerrilla marketing? So this has always been my thing. You know, I learned that in college back in late 90s, right? Guerrilla marketing, self-promote, invest in yourself. And I always to this day is constantly pushing stuff like, hey, here we go. This is what we got. Even now with the bridal shows, I got the photo booth set up, and on the bottom of the photo strip is a QR code to take you right to my link tree on my website. Right. Depends on what's I put on the bottom. Oh, you got a card? No, just come take a picture. Oh, there's my card right there, and I got your email.
And they'll put it on the fridge. Those are good.
The most impressive thing, or just little thing I know about A-Rock in terms of guerrilla marketing, this dude doesn't own a piece of clothing that doesn't have his fucking logo on it. I swear to God.
Right. Literally
every fucking thing he wears has his logo. The only car, I'm pretty sure to this day, it's still, the only car he's got is his van that's wrapped in his damn logo, except for his wife's car, but that's about it.
I sold the van. Now I got the Mercedes, and I got the personal European plate with the logo on it.
Okay. Oh, so you sold the transit van?
I sold the transit van and I brought a mattress in 21.
Oh, okay, yeah,
so I brought a new mattress in 21. So,
but it's still got your logo on it, right?
Yeah,
of course.
It still got my logo. So, but you know, it's so I'm gonna tell you the story behind that. So back in college, yes, and this is I take you back to '98, right? '98. So I'm sitting in this large lecture hall. This large lecture hall class, and the teacher, it was a TCOM class, marketing class. Teacher goes around the room and say, all right, if Nike paid you X amount of dollars to wear their logo, would you wear it? And everybody in class raised their hand. Yeah. He said, all right, now what if they just stopped paying you a month into them paying you? What you going to do? And everybody, I ain't going to wear it. And he went around and pointed out everybody's clothes, right? And then he started saying, well, you all are students at a high university paying tuition, but yet you all still go to the bookstore to buy your high university clothes. So I left there. I left class. I went uptown. I went to 2 T-shirt shops. Literally, immediately after class, went up 2 T-shirt shops. I say, hey, can you guys make me a custom T-shirt with my DJ brand on it? This is a 98, right? One shop blew me off. They'll stay nameless. They just blew me off. They was like, oh, well, we see. Went to another shop. I've been doing business with them for 25 years. They're still printing all my shit 25 years later.
Wow.
But everything been on my, and then as I get older out of college, I started looking like, these clothes are basically my uniform and it's basically a deduction for my taxes.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Absolutely.
Right? So, over the years, and always been that way. I'm like, why would I pay, this much money to wear this brand when I can just go find the same material and put my own logo on it? Like, if I see an Under Armour shirt I really like, I'll literally take a picture of the tag and then I go search the material and find that same shirt without the Under Armour logo on it for a fraction of the price.
Yep.
Yeah.
Wow. Same shit. There's only 10 places making the clothes.
Right.
So like, just show up. Clothing mills. So yeah, it's one of those things.
It's crazy.
Yeah, I wish I didn't have a shitty last name because then I'd just put my name on everything.
But
started a clothing brand.
But you got to value how much your name is. Your name can be valuable. Right. It's all about how value you make it.
That's low key why I started the clothing brand, was just so that I could wear the same clothes every single day that rap DJ life all the time.
Yeah, I thought about making a shirt to wear to the conventions that would just be like, that would say like, I am the DJ EP guy, because that's always the question people want to ask me.
Are you the DJ EP guy?
Yes, they're literally just, are you that DJ EP guy, or are you Eric? They don't, because I don't look like I do on the internet, because I'm skinny on the internet, but I'm not skinny in real life. So they.
But it's ironic, man. I was showing up at expos, years ago with all my branding and stuff on, and people looked at me funny, like, this guy is conceited, or man, you really like yourself. Like, nah, man, I'm investing in myself. I'm not gonna wear Nike shit everywhere I go. Nike ain't paying me. You know what I'm saying? I'm not about to put this brand on, walk around with it.
It actually cracks me up, the amount of like DJs I see at those conventions that don't wear any branding at all when it comes to them or their company or anything. It's like, what are you doing? I don't know. You should be repping who you are.
It's invest in yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like, all right, you're going to go to the designer store. You're going to pay $100 for a T-shirt with somebody else's name on there. You can go get you 12 T-shirts with your name on it. What's going to have a bigger return? You buying that $100 designer shirt, or you walking in with something with your own design on it and you got 12 different versions of it? I sat through a seminar with Damon Jean, the creator of FUBU, and he talked about how he got started, man. It was just like, it just hit home. Dude talked about he had 6 shirts going to music videos, letting these guys wear these shirts per video, and then taking the shirt back. Literally shot a video with LL and said, all right, give me the shirt back.
Yeah.
Like, damn.
Right.
But,
where'd he go?
But man, if you look up that guy, he's on Shark Tank, but when you go look up everything he had his hands in, all the urban clothes during that time, he was behind most of it. He was the brains. And so he was tagging different names on all these different clothes, but it was all him, So, he talked about that. He talked about how hip hop kept Adidas alive, kept Timberland alive. And you can't say the hip hop industry don't have anything to do with clothing when Adidas just announced their record loss for this upcoming year.
Right. Yeah. Right.
We won't go into detail, but we know why.
Yeah. True that.
Right. So
the Facebook comment, right? So
Facebook.
Just to remind you guys, the original question is, how do you keep yourself from burning out, right? And I basically said it has you have a shelf life as a DJ. So if you're super old, you're probably too old, and you don't realize it. And you're being weird by DJing, basically. And to each their own. That's my opinion, and that's real.
What did this guy say?
So
this random guy.
So this
guy
pops in, unnamed guy, tags me, LMFAO. I'm 61 and I book more gigs than 99% of the people in this group. I have a solid 10 more years. Be that guy. Own it. So he's saying he's good until he's 71 years old, by the way. I don't know if you realize that math. And to each their own.
Okay, continue. And then I'll ask.
The immediate second comment. Tags me. One more thing. I do college events. I do college bars. I play on that novelty. But I promise you, at least once a month, I get full on, come on to, and...
that was the best one.
Yeah. Oh, and proportioned. I think he said he meant to say propositioned, right?
Yeah.
I get full on come on to and propositioned by a smoking hot under 25-year-old with daddy issues. My 32-year-old son.
With daddy issues.
Yeah. My 32-year-old son tells his friends he can't hang with me. Rigor mortis can't set in if you keep moving. Just got home from my 5th gig since Friday morning. First off, I'm your son's age. I'll get that out. So this person is literally my father's age.
Fucking killing it.
That's fucking weird. I don't care. That's all of the okay, maybe if you were like a 61-year-old, all you're doing is like some lame ass weddings. Okay. This dude is in college bars. This dude is talking to, 23-year-olds with quote unquote daddy issues. You're talking like a 20-year-old too. I posted a meme that was like a face like ew. Like when you touch wet bread in the sink, it's that face you make. Like that is the response he got, and I was like, very cool.
Look, man, I was in a bar 2 weeks ago. Mikey was in town. We did the Green Beer Day in Athens. He's like, let's go up and DJ. I'm like, all right, fine, let's do it. I say, I'll take the photo booth out. I can go get some promo pictures, promote it, sell something I can sell to the sororities later on, right? Because they loved it. Man, we hit the 12 o'clock mark, bro, and we sitting there looking like, it was a good time, but it's like
you're only halfway there, man.
Dude, and something like I had to get out the bars. I love the bars, but I felt like babysitting at one point. You know what I'm saying? Like I just feel like, man, I'm just babysitting, and it just like, all right, it's time for me to walk away from it. You got to find your thing, right? I know people talk about this all the time. Like, what gigs do you need to walk away from? Like when people be like, hey, I'm having this event. Can somebody help with a playlist? Dude, is this the event you really want to do? Like, if you're strapped on even coming up with 2 hours worth of music, should you do it? Diesel truck.
Yeah, I was gonna say praise Dale.
But it's one of those things. Is like I had to tell myself, it's like, I can't do the bars anymore, and that's why I love the ships so much, because the cruise ships, it's a younger crowd on most of during like the summer and spring break, but throughout the year, it's a 30 and over crowd. Mm-hmm. So you know what I'm saying, and it's the crowd that want to dance. Like the group in the bar right now, they don't dance.
Well, you got to play the newest hip hop. It's not dance music anymore and whatnot. It's just different. They're not. It's like DJing for. You were saying proms, how you didn't like to DJ proms. It's because it's fucking hard. You can only play like quick, like super quick hitters of the heaviest rap thing you can think of, back to back to back to back, because they'll cheer the words for 20 seconds and then they're on to the next one, and it's hard to play 250 songs that are all heaters. Like that's just too much, you know.
And I can do a prom, no problem, but I mean, I'm just like, I'm from the age I love DJing because I love seeing people dance and have a good time, right? You know what I'm saying? Like when I was in the club, you came to the club to hook up. Now you come to the club to take a picture. Yep. Like I've been going to Vegas for probably over 16 years, right? Mm-hmm. And I've seen the dance floor in Vegas get smaller and smaller and smaller, and they're replacing them with chairs and couches and more chairs and couches. Sitting there like
fill up the room, right?
So and then everybody come in, they own Square with a $900 bottle of Grey Goose and $2 Walmart
taking their pictures.
Juice. That's it.
Taking their pictures.
Taking pictures. Right. And I'm like,
I was at the club.
Yeah.
Where's the dancing at?
Yeah. I mean, that's all of life, I feel like. I feel like that's how when I was at that when I was in Rome for my honeymoon recently, we were at the Leaning Tower of Pisa, right? And
those are some funny photos.
Everyone's doing. I wouldn't take a single picture. I might take a picture of the Leaning Tower real quick, maybe. Even that, probably not. But I'll take that one because I'm just not a picture taker. I don't give a shit, right? But Rachel was like, oh, I'm going to pose like I'm holding it up and take a picture of me, right? I'm oblivious. I was like, okay, whatever the fuck. Take the picture. As soon as I took that picture, I look around and I realize there is roughly 100 different scenarios of what we were doing down this walkway. Everyone with their significant other or whoever they're with is taking that exact fucking picture.
But that's vacation and that's a monument. We talking about a damn dance club.
Oh, you're not wrong, but I'm just saying it's all about like, look what I
did.
Look at me.
Yeah.
Look at me and my extravagant.
It's the social media.
situation.
It's everyone just trying to brag on social media. They're not going for the experience. They're going for the pic on Instagram.
Well, you're right, man. And that's another thing. Like, people who really know me know I don't really post any of my personal life on social media. You know what I'm saying? Like, the stuff I post is me working. Even I'm on the cruise ship. Like, my wife may come on the ship, but we don't post any of our pictures with her on the ship with me or any of our vacation pictures, right? Just because I even use my personal page for business on top of my business page on top of my other business page, right?
Yeah.
And I'll tell people like, why you don't put no pictures up of your trip? Do your wife ever come? Like, yes, she come all the time. Why don't you post? Because these are personal pictures.
Yeah, right.
This is for us to scroll through and look at, not for everybody else. But, it is what it is, man. We live in a digital time, right? Like even now, if you go on my page, everything I put up is from all these events I'm doing, right? It's because it's promo for me. I'm pushing this live streaming, venture. So I want to show people like, hey, this is what I'm doing. But like, I had 15,000 pictures on my phone at one point. And I literally just cleaned off probably 9,000 of them.
I got something like
2
that.
months ago.
I screenshot everything, but it's all memes. I just screenshot memes all day, but I have so many screenshots.
But that happened when I first started working on the cruise ship. Literally, I was like taking pictures of every port. But after you go to Jamaica like 20 times, like, I already seen this already. What's the excitement at? Like when I went to Europe, I was like fanboy and walking around taking pictures. All like, oh shit.
It truly is like another world over there.
It's
almost, you've never seen it in your life. You kind of do want to log it a little bit.
It's history. It's history.
It's
you looking at, you walk through history, but it's still one of those things. It's like, everybody's trying to show everybody what they're doing, right? It's like, why are you doing this?
Look at me. Yeah. I mean, I do it. I don't do it necessarily with stuff like we're talking about, but I definitely am like, oh, I book 1 billion fucking events.
Hey, but that's financially beneficial.
That's what I was gonna say. The reason I do it is because of money.
It's different.
And that's
personally.
the difference.
Yeah, the personal bragging versus business is marketing. Like when you're posting stuff like that or posting "look at me" and all this, that's a marketing perspective. But I mean, I guess we're in the age of the influencer. I would know practically, but
yeah. You are you're semi-influential. You haven't influenced me to do anything yet, so I'm waiting to call you.
I didn't. What's in your wallet right now?
Oh, you do. All right.
Okay.
Convince me to get that. My boy got me the Amex Gold.
I just wait till Rick gets sick of stuff and call me and say, hey, I got something for sale. So
no shit. This dude literally, he's like, what do you sell anything? I'm like, I really don't care for this bun booth anymore. And he's like, all right, I'll be down next week.
Wow.
Shit, I came down the next day. He hit me up and I was like, hey, I'll come down and pick it up. But it's one of those things, right? I know when I see shit on Rick's channel and then I see 10 other people with it, it's like the Maui 44s, right? When those came out, it was 3 people. We know who all 3 had them.
Right.
Then it's 300 people with them.
Yeah. Well,
it's like
what's that new EV speaker that's battery
The
powered?
Everse.
I want one. I want 9 of them.
Oh yeah.
But
What does it have USB outs?
it has.
Oh, we're talking gear. Shut up. We're talking gear.
All right,
In
we're
a
not
brief
talking
conversation,
gear. That's
the kicker, it's waterproof.
Oh.
The speaker is fucking waterproof.
Well, you still got to find a waterproof laptop.
Yeah, well, that's the start,
iPad.
though. That's a good
That's the
start.
iPad. Let's get an iPad in the case.
I don't
iPad
think
in
you
the
ever
case.
told that story on the podcast, but that's fucking hilarious.
Oh, where the DJ
just kept DJing the ceremony with the laptop in the pouring down rain, and then wonders why the laptop got fried.
He like hit me up and was like, "Hey man, my laptop fried at the gig," and I was like, "What? How did that happen?" He was like, "Well, it was raining through the ceremony." I was like, "You just kept going?" Like
bugs flying on me.
I was like, "You just like kept going? You didn't like shut it down? Like
Listen,
what the hell? Like cover your laptop or something?"
So I can tell you some stories, right? It's like I've done so much just in my personal life with the DJing in the States, but then when I go on the ship, it's a whole nother world. It's like every scenario you could think of come at you.
So yeah, I'm curious on the ship.
You would get massive rain to come out of nowhere. You literally be in the middle, like just going, and next you know, bam, downpour.
Right? What's the protocol on that? Because like.
So we have so much in place, right? So we talk cruise ships like in depth, and I only can speak of Carnival because that's who I work for going almost 8 years.
They're only
now,
the biggest cruise person in the whole entire world by a mile.
And they just picked up 6 more ships, right? So
they're fucking conglomerate, massive.
So
that's a good word.
On one ship, we have at least 3 to 4 controllers on board. 3 to 5 MacBook Pros, all with the same matching library. And then we have a Pioneer setup and a nightclub, right? So we have different controllers for different locations. So we have the SR or the SB for the daytime or outdoor stuff, right? So we can move that around easier versus moving a set of CDJs around. But everything matches. So you think about how much gear just Carnival has. Take all that gear times 27 ships. So that's how much gear they're out every day on a boat. Mm-hmm. So we will go through gear like no other because the salt water would literally destroy the controllers. I mean, if we can get 6 to 9 months out of a controller on a ship, we're doing great.
Yeah.
Because when we're outside, the wind, the salt water, these things will start rusting out. Same with the laptops. But I have been out literally DJing on an open deck and literally, bam, come down on the computer, flip it over, let the water drain out overnight, and then go back out and DJ with it. Mm-hmm. It's like, it works.
I
don't know how.
I had never heard of a laptop just frying because of the rain. That was a first for me. It was weird. That was weird. And I was like, you're a fucking idiot also.
Yeah.
For like letting that happen.
Yeah, seriously. Instantly rain, flip upside down.
Just
shut it off.
Just don't just stand in it and be like, well, it's raining now. Like, what the fuck?
That's interesting.
I literally picked up a golf umbrella, the big 60-inch golf umbrellas,
yep.
But they got the flaps to keep them from blowing away. Mm-hmm. And if I slightly doubt that it's not going to be a clear day, like if I just see I literally got that golf umbrella next to me when I'm doing outdoor ceremonies.
Yeah.
I mean, and it will cover up most of my gear, even my DJ rig. Mm-hmm. And I literally have it there with a tarp or a piece of plastic.
I was about to say, I bring a tarp. That's my go-to. Throw a tarp over it.
Throw a tarp and go.
Smart.
But, it's one of those things, like over the years you figure out, what to do and what not to do.
I took a big chance doing it, and it's mainly because the bride was one of the photographers I worked with quite a few times, so I took a little bit of a chance on it. But pouring down rain, and it's a photographer, so really wants the photos, and torrential like downpour during her ceremony, and I straight up told like her friend that was coordinating her, I'm like, I can't give you anything, and I ended up making it work. I was underneath the tarp. I had my buddy Brian, actually, who's in the chat, was with me at that wedding. Uh-huh. He was holding the umbrella, and I had the tarp propped up on the laptop, or actually iPad. I think I switched to my iPad to be safer, and was queuing up the songs. And I still had them with lapels in the pouring down rain, and thank God they didn't get ruined.
I'd have been so pissed.
Yeah. I mean, I think some people don't realize that. They don't realize how much money we got invested out there. Oh, it's just a couple drops.
Yeah, the people are just.
Oh, she was cool. She was cool, but she knew too. I talked to her and everything. She's like, and I actually played it off like I wasn't doing mics or whatnot. And I actually just left them on them, and a couple drops did come through the mic. You heard the drop hit the mic, and I was like, oh, yeah. Hope that's still good. It was still fine.
But you made it work. It's professionalism, right? And that's what people don't understand. So it's like. We go back to some of the new DJs, right? It's like, I tell people, you're not paying for my gear. You're paying for my knowledge and my professionalism to come out and do this event.
Yeah.
Right. And that's be like, oh, you're kind of expensive. And I'm like, but I know if something happened, I got a plan B, C, D, and I know how to work a crowd. I know how to MC. You're paying for my experience, not for the gear I'm bringing out. And that's what you tell people, that like, no, you're not paying for the gear.
So back to the Facebook question or everything like that. When I was working full time as an engineer, I actually did do a practice where after every like 3 or 4 weddings in a row, strictly booked myself as unavailable. Just because, I'm working 60 hours a week as an engineer, and then on top of that, I'm trying to DJ on these weekends doing 12 plus hours a week. But as soon as I made the flip to go full-time DJ, and also my rates went up considerably as well, I'm perfectly fine. I would DJ every fucking weekend. I don't care. If they want to pay me my rate, I'll go DJ. Like, it's just like my mental game is so much different with where I'm at in terms of I can take Monday off now.
Yeah,
like,
I'm at the point that I'm just kind of nitpicking. I'm like Eric said, you have to put an expiration date on where you want to be at. You have to set goals, and I set a goal a long time ago when I started my store, and I opened the store off the money I was making from DJing. So the goal was to take the DJ money, open a retail store, get out of DJing, run a retail store, retire from the retail store. I sold the retail store and I'm back DJing just because I was so burnt out from DJing. I was more burnt out from the retail than DJing. Even working on the ship 3 to 6 months out the year, I was still more burnt out from retail versus doing what I love doing. So, I always tell people, say, but you got to put an expiration date on. It comes back to finances, right?
And you got to have an exit strategy.
You got to have an exit strategy. You don't want to be moving. I don't care how light the gear is getting, right? Or how simple the gear is getting. You don't want to be moving no gear at 60 years old unless you really, really, really want to. Or somebody paying you really, really good money, or you should be paying somebody a 30-year age to set it up, and you just come in and start DJing, and they tear that shit down and move it.
Yeah, well, if you haven't changed it to something that, like you just said, whatever, one of those options, you just wasted 30, however long you've been doing it. Think how you weren't moving forward. You're stagnant the whole time, if that's what you're doing. That's an example of you've been stagnant, because I was DJing in college bars and talking to 20-year-old bitches, whatever the fuck, at fucking 18, and then I did it until I was 26, I think, and that was when I started the company and went that way. You know what I mean?
Right.
And you're following your crowd in a way,
Well,
yeah.
You're following your crowd, and I guess cruise ships
is not your
would cruise ships be the next one if I get on these 14-day cruises when all my people are in their 50s?
Man, it's
long away, but
listen, I actually had, like, some of the DJs hate doing these journey cruises, which they on there for this long. I literally had the best time ever. Did your light just go out in your room? Oh.
That's the time. That's the time indicator.
That's the time indicator.
Lets you know what
but
time.
Yeah, so before we get off, I do want to say this, right? Because you got a lot of young DJs listen to your podcast, and I've been doing this for a while, and I'm all about business. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
Numbers, right? And I just want to tell people this, man. Know your business. Like, legitimately know your business. Like, don't say, yeah, I'm out here cranking out this many weddings a year and I'm making this much money, but you don't know what a profit loss statement is. Like, you really don't know how much money you're making. Like, oh yeah, I made $1,500 this month, but my bills this month cost me $2,000. So I'm in the rear $450 and some change, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, and there's so many people that I've met, even during the pandemic, who really didn't know what their profit was, and they've been doing it for months, years, decades. It's like, how much money did you really make?
They didn't know their true profits. They had their theoretical profits.
Like, and you don't need QuickBooks. You don't need all this. Get a Excel spreadsheet. Just make an Excel spreadsheet. Like, hey, I did this many events. I did this event on this day, this day, this day. How much money did I really make, and how much gear did I buy? Right? You can't spend 50 grand on gear and you made $15,000. Something ain't adding up.
That's
right?
like, so I hired my business coach in April, May timeframe, and I knew like how much money coming in, how much money going out, and like the bottom line profit. But she really like kicked my ass as to knowing like gross profits, percentages, what our best selling items are, all the nitty gritty that really proves what your business is worth in the long run, and where you're spending your money on stupid shit like gear and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And how if you're overpaying your guys or underpaying your guys, depending on where you're at and where you're losing money. So I 100% agree that literally knowing your numbers shifted my business like tenfold.
And I admire everybody out here getting it every single weekend. Just make sure you're getting what you're worth, right? And getting what you need to get to pay your bills. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, I'm doing 6 events a week. Yeah, but you're charging $300. So you make $1,800 when you could have went and did a wedding for $1,800.
Yeah.
So let's do the 6-to-1 ratio on what you're making versus what you could be making. So.
But you ain't getting flirted with 25-year-old women when you don't.
25 is too old. We said
23.
Under 25.
Oh, sorry.
Specifically
with daddy issues.
Yes,
yeah, sorry.
difference.
Hey man, it's amazing how this whole hour we keep coming back to that post. But because it's honestly, man, it's a relevant post because I think a lot of people need to look at that.
It's a mindset post. It's a mindset stimulator. 100%.
Well, what I'm doing now is trying to get out of all the lugging of the gear with the video streaming. I did so much video streaming during the pandemic for 4 colleges and 3 large companies, right? And now I've been basically built a whole mobile rig. Now I'm literally taking a full video mobile production out to do these events. And it's not difficult work. It's stressful as hell. Like today we was crammed in the Florida State House Rotunda with probably just over 500 and something people in there, right? It's not a large area.
I saw it. It was tight.
But when we went live. News team is there. I'm doing it on their channel, and then they're rebroadcasting to their other channels. And it's like we're capturing content to show later on, and I'm sitting there sweating. And it's only 30 minutes. Like the conference, 30 minutes, and then we go get B-roll throughout the event, go outside, and follow the other guys around. So it's literally 5 of us on this job right now. So it's me and my partner, and then it's 3 other guys, and then they got a 4th guy doing stills. So it's a huge production. And so we're in Texas next week, and then we go to California for 4 days, which is like the largest event, and then we hit 3 other places. So. Live streaming. You need some live streaming. I'll be down there.
Live streaming.
What day did you text me? You texted me that the other day this week, and you're like, if you need live streaming, I got you.
I got you. Look, man, when people thought I was joking about it when I started doing it, I say, look, now companies, first thing people say, yeah, we're having a conference. Is it going to be hybrid? Is it going to be on Zoom? Is it going to be Teams? Because people aren't sending people out to these conferences anymore. Right? Or is it going to be in person? Is it going to be hybrid? Because people want hybrid. All events I was doing with the state of Ohio, they was expecting 70-30, like 70% attending, 30 online. Complete opposite. 40% attending, 60% online. It's 40 people in the room, 140 people online watching, right? And it's just now like, oh, we don't need to travel. And people, you can't just put a webcam up anymore. Like people want, we want picture in the picture, or we want to be able to get interviews. We want this camera pointing this. Like, all right, how much you want to pay?
Right. Midwest DJs live.
And it's weekday
live.
Work.
Yeah,
weekday work. That's the key to the whole thing.
Weekday work. I got 2 events this week. As soon as I get home, I'm doing more live sound now. So I'm slowly trying to work my way out of DJing. Like, I love doing it, but I just need to start focusing on more money, less work.
Right. Well, you're old, so
Yes.
Oh, yeah, here we go.
Look, and who's yawning right now? Look who's yawning.
Hey, man,
look.
I'm old. I never said I said I was old 5 years ago.
Hey, look, man. Look, long as you keep moving, right? And that what the post said? Keep moving. The rigor mortis.
And also, so someone commented after that, and I didn't know who it was, and I clicked through, and I looked at his pictures, and I don't know how old he was. Honestly, he's an older guy, but I was like, you're good. Because you could just tell, and I was like, maybe I used the wrong words when I said if you're old. I meant to say if you're fucking lame. That's what it is. If you're just some lame ass, and that happens when you get old usually. You know what I mean? But like, if you're lame when you're 32, you're still fucking lame, and you shouldn't be a fucking DJ. This is how it is. Am I wrong? You're the life of the party.
Look, old is new anymore, right? Old is new. So. But yeah, man. Did y'all get any questions in the chat?
Not really.
I don't have YouTube open. Okay, all right, cool. I don't have YouTube open tonight, but
yeah, no.
I want to keep y'all on here.
No, the people in the chat today were very just talking.
They were just listening.
Well, we got combing his chest hair. Never heard her.
Talk about Nick.
Who?
Spinelli
combing his chest hair.
He posted some. What I'm thinking is he posted like a picture or a video, and his shirt was so unbuttoned. It was like down to his. You know what I mean?
That's the jersey thing.
I even sent him a DM, and I was like, "Chest game strong" or something like that.
So I was at an event, and I just had like one button undone, so it was just a little open. I was like posting a story or whatever. He commented, he said, "You ain't from Jersey, button that bitch up."
That's right. I used to make fun of Graham all the time because if we were packing up back when he was like still training, anytime we were packing up, those buttons are coming undone. It's because he has a chest piece tattoo, and I'm like, we get it. You got tattoos. Fucking come on.
That taco meat.
You're over there like, don't make me pull my sleeve up.
Yeah, but it's just like, dude, who cares? Come on, let's go.
Get that taco meat out.
All right,
that taco meat, man.
Racker, what?
Rack 'em.
Yeah. So expo wise, are you hitting any expos up this year?
We will be at Atlantic City selling both Lighting USA.
Nice. You got a booth?
Not yet, but we're getting one.
Yeah, I might hit Atlantic
So with the money.
City, but otherwise I might skip out all year.
I'll be in
everywhere this year.
Not DJ convention. I'll be in Nashville in 2 weeks for a business conference, but that's about it.
I'm going to the Collective. I forgot about that.
Supposedly Clock is doing. Oh yeah, I'm going to the Collective too.
I'll be at the Collective.
Marcel's is going to the Collective too, so we'll be there.
Oh snap!
I got him a ticket this year.
Yep.
Oh
Cash.
snap!
It'll probably be his last ticket.
Yep. Cash in a car. Go to the Collective.
Hey man, it is what it is. I love all those conventions, but a lot of times I sit there and I'm like falling asleep because I've been going to like national business conferences for 20 years.
Yep.
So a lot of the stuff they be saying, I'm like,
Right.
Yeah, this is a national business conference. I'm going to Nashville. So.
the business conference is a whole nother level, man. So good luck, have fun, but I won't keep y'all on here. I'm about to go to sleep
Good luck
because
with the
I'm about to drive home. Yes, we drove to Florida. 14 hours.
You driving to Texas next?
Hell no.
Yeah.
No, we're flying to Texas. This was probably the most expensive flight of all the plane tickets was Tallahassee. I guess it's a small
Spring
airport.
break.
No,
Spring.
I know. It's just a small airport. Like literally one person round trip was $1,000
Damn.
to Tallahassee.
Yeah, I can go to Greece for that price.
Look, you can go to, right. Yeah, right. Exactly. You can go over to Europe for half that. So, All right, I'll let y'all go. I appreciate it as always. Hit me up when you got some more gear for sale.
What where would you like the guys to go follow you at or find you? Or all that?
Oh, you can check me out. Everything matches. So DJArock.com. It will point you to A-Rock Entertainment. I own all those domains. So AROC Entertainment or AROCK Entertainment, or if you spell it wrong, ARCC. I bought all the domains that you can mess up.
If you just hit your face on the keyboard, he'll pop up. It's fine.
It's gonna. And then you can go to my OnlyFans, and then so you hit up DJ A-Rock Ohio on Instagram. So real quick, so my link tree is on my QR code, which is strapped to my book bag, right? So I'm walking through. So
Are you sponsored by Pioneer DJ?
Actually, Pioneer we just got a partnership with Carnival. So one of the Carnival DJs will be at NAMM in the Pioneer booth. So anyway, we'll come back to that. So, but if you click on the link tree, the first link on there is OnlyFans. It says OnlyFans. And you click on it, it goes right to my website. Like I changed it up before I went to PBX. So I changed it up before I went to PBX. So you can go on Linktree and see like how many clicks one link could get. Man, that thing like quadruple from what I was getting.
Wow, that's funny because I would never click that. I'd be like, wow, I definitely don't want to see his OnlyFans, and then that's it.
It's probably people just curiosity kills the cat.
Yeah, like I just want to see his dick. That's all.
No, it's not. It's probably not even that. It's just he's got an OnlyFans. What?
Yeah,
what's he doing? What's he doing on Only? He's not doing naked content on OnlyFans, is he? That's what they're doing.
Your haters are your biggest fans. Remember that.
I trust me. I know that.
Your haters are your biggest fans. All right, man. Y'all have a good one. I'm about to go to sleep before I can drive 14 hours on my birthday, son.
Oh my Lord. Happy early birthday. Everyone wish him happy early birthday. Everyone go hit him up and say happy early birthday.
I may knock on your door mid-trip because we got to come right through where you at. So.
Oh, dude, come pop by. What, tonight or tomorrow?
Man, whenever we get up in the middle of the night, we just going to go to the car and start driving. I'm to sleep. And so. Hit you up.
As long as it's in the afternoon. I got meetings all morning. That's about it.
All right. Have fun.
Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching the DJ Life podcast. If you are watching on YouTube, and if you're not watching on YouTube, get on over to the YouTube and hit the subscribe button so we can hit 1,000 subscribers, and we would greatly appreciate it. That was very fast.
Nice. Perfect.
Thank you guys so much for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. Follow us on all those sources if you're on Spotify, all that. And we'll see you next week with Mr. Brian Austin, local DJ, awesome star. Woo.